If I could show you a graph of what it looks like, to what happens to your body metabolically when you eat something, it would fill this entire table. The amount of chemical reactions that are occurring just by one bite of food.
Wow.
So if your mind, if you're right,
Look,
if your whole body,
it's gonna be a little extra motivation for me.
Exactly. I'm serious. If your whole body is focused on this enormous, greatly detailed, miraculous process, it's not focused on healing maybe an overgrowth of tissue and organs that happen, or maybe, clearing out, or I would say replenishing the fluid, the CSF fluid, cerebral spinal fluid in your brain so you can think better, then it's not doing that because it's focused on digesting this entire food. So.
When you go visit that vision, you embody that. Let's talk about the faith. Do you believe you are equipped for your assignment? We as Black women tend to be extra superwoman. She did that. Okay, elevators, this is for you. If we're not practicing what we preach, listen. After you pray, after you meditate, take a step. Look at the source. Yes. Look at the source of your strength. Thank you. I believe every day is a great day because this is the day the Lord has made.
Why are we so afraid to use what God has given us? Wow.
It all starts in the mind.
Yes.
That was just a little weird, but okay. Don't be tardy for the party. Come on, Nike, just do it. That's a whole word, Tammy. That's a whole episode.
That's someone else. Because your mom mentioned to me, she was like, and Abigail is really big on the intermittent fasting.
Yes.
So some of the journeys, right, that you learned with your weight loss. So talk a little bit about that.
So actually, I had bariatric surgery. That took off bulk of the weight. But
so what is that?
That's when they
That's
put
the
a band
on your stomach.
Yes.
A band. Okay.
There's different ones. There's a lap band. Then there's, I think, the sleeve to where they just decrease the size of your stomach. And then there's the option where they actually take a portion out of your stomach and reroute your digestive tract. So I had that portion.
Okay.
It is not a, once it happens, you're good for life. What it does is, after that surgery, it gives you 2 years to get your relationship with food right.
So it's discipline.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't get it right. The surgery helps you with that. The surgery will say, okay, you can't eat that much. And then, if you're having to throw up because you did or whatever, it gives you that time. After that, the effects of the surgery start to diminish. So if your relationship with food is not healed, you will regain the weight. So I'm about 9 years, I think 7 years out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you've gotten that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, she had the sleeve done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know a couple of people who've had it, and they all fallen back.
Wow.
So they didn't correct the relationship with food.
That's the purpose. It was kind of conditioned to give you a head start. That's all it was really supposed to do.
Like a kickstart.
Yes.
So did you have a excess skin issue?
No, I think I attribute that to
Youth?
working out, lifting weights
Okay.
in youth. Yeah.
It's very elasticity.
It's how do I say this? It's ethical for me to mention this. There are some differences when it comes to race in medicine.
Okay.
There are definitely some differences. So, being African American and having a lot of melanin attributed to my results after that.
Okay.
Not just results physiologically, but of course mentally as well. And being able to work out, being able to lift heavy weights and things like that. So my race does play a portion in that. That happens in every point of medicine.
Okay.
Who you are and your background plays a part in your results and some of the diseases you're susceptible to. So I won't just say, I do stand by and say, yes, we are all the human race. We are. And I have to uphold that because if I'm going to step in, I'm not just treating Black children. I'm treating all children. So I have to look at them the way God sees them for me to give the best care. But there are some differences that I have to
be aware of.
Wear it on my T-shirt, but I do keep it in my mind in dealing with patients to keep that standard of excellence the same. So,
Gotcha.
So I want to go back to the intermittent fasting. Sure. That was something that you.
I started that now.
Okay.
I say I started that the last 2 years. That's what's really gotten me over a certain threshold. And something I found that I can maintain. And I think definitely in my work, I mean, doing 20-hour shifts and 18-hour shifts, I'm probably
it's
going
proven to work for you.
Yes. I actually watched this, A Day in the Life of a Pediatric, I think he was a gastroenterologist or something, but he did surgery, and she had asked him, she said, when was the last time you ate? He was like, 20 hours ago. And I was like, okay. But I saw how that fasting kept his mind alert and prepared for surgery. Yes. So I'm definitely, I think my life is going to have to be a life of prayer and fasting. Definitely.
I am a believer in that.
Make sure nothing gets in the way.
And I noticed because someone I was talking to yesterday, and she said she hasn't eaten. I said, well, I believe you're on a fast. You know, some fasts it's like you put yourself on, and some it's not forced, but it's almost like if you are in tune with your body, then you will not just go into it. It's like, well, I'm not eating. It is because God has you on this fast, and you said it because it keeps you alert.
Right, alert, yes.
Focused, right, and you're able, and I don't think sometimes we realize that. It's like, why don't I eat? But you're like, I'm hungry. I'm not hungry, and I'm okay. Right. So, yeah, I can appreciate that.
Me this week at work, I'm like...
And you were getting it done.
You haven't eaten, but I was getting it done.
You were getting it done. Because sometimes that weighs you down, right?
Yeah.
If
I could show you a graph of what it looks like, what happens to your body metabolically when you eat something, it would fill this entire table. The amount of chemical reactions that are occurring just by one bite of food.
Wow.
So if your
look,
if your whole body,
it's gonna be a little extra motivation for me.
Exactly. I'm serious.
If your whole body is focused on this enormous, greatly detailed, miraculous process, it's not focused on healing maybe an overgrowth of tissue and organs that happen, or maybe, clearing out, or I would say replenishing the fluid, the CSF fluid, cerebral spinal fluid in your brain so you can think better, then it's not doing that because it's focused on digesting this entire food. So,
and what's interesting for me is, so in my old church, we used to fast 3 times a year for the whole week. And I mean, some people would do like the Daniel fast or different variations of the fast, but one of the ways was no food and all water, which was easy for me. Oh, okay. So I would fast for the entire week, and by Thursday, when I tell you I'm a rocket scientist, I can go because I'm very clear and all of that. However, when Friday came, I'm with the burgers, give me the apple pies, and I'm not going to fast again until it's time. So saying all that to say, it's interesting to me that I saw the great results from fasting, but I still didn't look forward to it, and I certainly wouldn't do it on my own.
Right.
So it's just it's like.
But the thing that I love is that you validating what we're saying.
Absolutely.
But then it's almost like when I hear that, it's like, it's good for you. You know what it can do for you. Yeah. But that's this body and this will, right?
This flesh.
As Abigail said.
Not yourself.
I like that feeling because it makes you feel like you're in control.
And you're lighter.
Yes,
like,
and you are.
Right, and you don't feel weighed down.
Okay.
You don't feel bloated, and like you said, so your body is doing all of this trying to process this food that you've eaten, and if you can just stay away from that.
Yes.
Oh,
so when you do fast, what's your regimen? Is it a certain time frame?
The intermittent.
The intermittent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I know some people, they may not eat before 12
That's it.
or 1 o'clock, and then they won't eat like after 7 or 8 o'clock.
So right now, I do keep in mind I am a young woman in childbearing years. So I've had no pregnancy, so I'm 26. Between 26 and 32 as a woman, I think 12 to 14 hours on a daily basis is ideal. Okay. When I was 25, I was doing up to 18 and 20 hours. Past 32, then you can say, okay, maybe I'll do 18 hours, and maybe I'll do... But right now, my body's like, look, because I know my mind can really go hard, but my body's like, listen, we're preparing for something. I don't know if it happened in my future, maybe not. Maybe or maybe not. But... my hormones right now, you need to not go above 14. So
14 hours of fast.
yes, 14
And
hours.
does
But
it
some
include
days,
when you sleep?
yes, it includes when you
Yeah,
sleep.
that's what I
Some
like.
days
Okay.
will be more. Some days, if I'm busy or like
I'm
today,
34, so I'm trying to figure out what it is I need to be doing.
So you were thinking 18 or more when you're
Or
past the
16.
childbearing or
Past
you're
32, I would say 16.
16.
Yeah, 16, 18. You can start out 12, 14, and then really listen to your body. If your body says, I like this number, then do that. You can experiment and see which one, but, for my mother's age, when she's almost 60, she can almost do a warrior diet, which is 20 hours of fasting and 4 hours eating window. I can't do that right now. My body would really be upset with me. So I would definitely...
Most I did was maybe 12 to 13.
Yes, if that works
Before
for
my
you,
body I started feeling weird or shaky.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I gotta eat something now.
Yeah, if that works for you and hey, I can do this every day for the rest of my life, then
That's key
stick with
there,
that.
isn't it?
Yes.
Consistency.
It
It is.
Dabble with it all.
And that be my problem.
Intermittent fast.
The consistency
Okay, I'm
part.
not eating bread and sugar. Okay.
And for me, it's a psychological thing because I don't say I'm fasting. I remember you said,
Right.
you just mentioned, you was like, oh, you intermittent fast. I'm like, no, this is just what I do every day. So I'm 15 hours every day, 7 days a week. But that's just because that's just how I eat.
Yes.
Yes. Then that works. But I think every human should do some level of fasting unless you have a separate condition that
Requires you to
needs
do
be-
different.
But if you have no comorbidities or you have nothing else going on, I think you should incorporate some level of fast, even if it's just 10 hours.
Well, when you say that, because some will say, I've heard that when you're sleeping, right? That's the whole
Yes.
thing about the breakfast.
Yes.
You break the fast,
Yeah.
right?
That's-
But you're saying it's a
that's
little bit
good.
more than just
Yeah.
doing the time frame where
Where
you're
you're sleeping.
sleeping.
Because I can go
Right.
without
That's-
breakfast, honestly.
Right.
Right, I don't eat
Exactly.
breakfast, so it's easy for me.
You gotta have her eggs. I
every
can
day.
do, and it takes me back to when I was in school, and they say eat your breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
When I ate, I got lazy. I wasn't thinking about no work.
Gotcha.
Yes.
But if I didn't eat breakfast, I passed the test. I didn't even have to study for the test.
Wow.
Like I would just do it. But anytime I eat breakfast, I get super late. I don't want to do nothing.
Absolutely.
So
So you're saying that you recommend adults incorporate the intermittent fasting, going
Yes.
beyond maybe your normal whatever it is, 8
Yes.
hours, but try to
If you go to bed at 10 o'clock and you wake up, I don't know, at 6 in the
7,
morning,
6, 7.
take your time getting ready and
Yeah.
then have your food. If you have to eat in the morning, maybe
Don't
eat around
rush
9.
into it.
Just take your time, clear your mind, meditate.
Good.
That is
Right.
one thing that I
Do.
definitely believe in.
Yeah.
Not jumping into eat. I used to tell people that, don't wake me up for food. I just want to take even when I go on a vacation, you're in the hotel and they have the breakfast.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
got to
like,
get down here by 11.
I'll miss
It's
that
like-
breakfast.
Right.
That's what I'm not doing. I'm
Right.
not
I
even
never
hungry.
catch the
Right.
breakfast.
Never.
Right.
So and even now I'm more conscious about it. Is like allowing my body to transition, and I put that water in and let that come.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I drink a
like
bottle of water at night and then a
Yes.
bottle in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing I drink and the first thing I drink.
I think
So
it's very intentional. And
You have
if I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good.
And if you have something important to do, like if you have a meeting to present, then maybe say, okay, I think I'm gonna wait till eat after that, unless you're like, okay, I really have to. But I think most importantly, doctors can. I think it should be a co-laboring thing. Like it's your body, so you can bring the knowledge, but at the end of the day, I don't feel what you feel. So we have to work together.
I like that.
To figure out what's best for you. But I think most importantly, when it comes to the daily maintenance of your overall health, listen to your body.
Yeah,
As long as there's no outside of food addictions or telling you to get donuts all the time or something that's
But
unrealistic.
I could live with that.
Right.
That's something my sister craves donuts. Like she craves sweets.
Okay.
I don't really crave sweets like that. If I crave a sweet,
Probably a deficiency in some way.
I'm probably my
Or
monthly
lifestyle,
thing about to
I think
come on.
lifestyle,
But
stress.
I
Sugar's
never
doing
crave
something
them
to her.
like
Yeah,
that.
she wants that.
And if I do crave something, it'll be like a cheesecake or something.
Yeah,
but
it could
that's
be,
normally around when my menstrual is about to come on. But other than that, I don't crave. My sister, She used to drive like 35 minutes to a donut spot.
I would have been in the
You would be
passenger
right
seat.
there with her, like, let's
My
go
mom.
for it.
Let's go.
I remember
Let's go.
we was in Georgia all day, and I just want to get back home. And it was Krispy Kreme's anniversary or something.
God bless
And they
Krispy
had
Kreme.
a dozen. You can get a dozen of
That's a gift
donuts
from
for a
God.
penny.
Oh wow.
So I said,
And that's a blessing.
I said, Mom, I'm
And
gonna
I would
take
say
you.
that's a trap.
I said, I'm gonna take you so you can get your donuts since you've been riding with me. Girl, when I pulled up and saw how long the line was,
You ain't
I was
getting no
like,
Not
donut.
today.
Mama, we can't. I'm sorry, we can't do it. She laid me out. Take me to my car.
Well, I appreciate though, because I thought that was so interesting. I remember your mom and I talking about, just the journey and being healthy. And she was like, and Abigail said, and Abigail says.
Oh, she asked me so many questions because I think you reach a certain plateau level if you want to. Okay, what do I have to do to get to this weight? All right, now what do I have to do to get to a 6-pack as a woman? Okay, you gotta make
talk to us.
You gotta make some changes. So
I just want to get back to 150. That's all I want.
And I love that you said it's a
labor, yeah.
co-labor. That's what I thought you said, a co-labor, because it's very different for everybody. And we hear these limits on how much water you're supposed to drink and all of that. But to that point, okay, I drink so much water. Well, now I'm dehydrated because I've washed all the electrolytes out of my body, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then hearing, like, I know a lot of trainers will tell you, like, you gotta eat. So your body can be burning more fat. And I'm like, I don't want to eat that much.
It's like I'm not hungry.
I'm not hungry. I'm forcing myself to eat.
Journey,
I'm like, what are we doing here?
The easiest method that I've done is, well, here's one thing about the way the body works. I would say all bodies work because we're all generated by genetics, by genes. So the body responds to a demand. That's how everyone works. So if you're ever confused, I'll give you an example. I had surgery here. They removed a portion of my tissue. There was like overgrowth because I had braces like longer than I was supposed to. So in order to...
Are you pointing to your lip or in your gum?
Oh,
okay.
in my gum, in my mouth.
Your gums.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not lifting it up, but they removed tissue inside my teeth. So I'm thinking, okay, I had surgery. Now I have to make my body grow healthy new tissue. The only way to do that is to apply additional pressure when I'm brushing. So that forces the cells there. That forces my genes to make healthier, new, stronger tissue.
Okay.
So that's how the entire body works in every area. In the gym, when they're saying that to you, when they're saying, hey, they want you to eat this way, or you don't necessarily have to do that. There's different ways, but the one thing you have to do is put a demand on your metabolism to reach your perfect body or whatever you desire. So maybe when we go to the gym, how do we put demands on our body? Well, we lift heavy weight. You lift that heavy weight, that forces your muscle to create more cells. And then that speeds up your metabolic rate, then thus speeds up the amount of time that you can, I would say the rate at which you can burn calories at a resting state. So even sitting down or just chilling, you can burn a lot of calories versus a sedentary lifestyle where there is no demand. So if you're eating and then you don't do anything, then it'll show for that.
And that's why they state, it's more than just working out. It's the eating as well. It goes hand in hand.
For sure. There's so many different routes you can take. I mean, I would say physiologically, the body is divided up. You have to find out, are you an endomorph? Are you a mesomorph? Are you an ectomorph? Most women are endo, mixture of endo, meso. Most black women, I think, have a mixture of endo and meso because we have a lot of muscle. Even though we're not, if you don't look like a
question.
Which is why they say we
because it was this guy on Instagram. No, I was on Snap, and they had like the little pop-ups come up, and he spoke about that.
Yes.
Finding out what body type you are.
Yeah.
How do you find that out?
Oh, just looking at you. If you look at type it up, endo, meso, you can just look at the charts of different bodies and say which one looks like yours. Or most humans are not just one thing. You'll find most athletes are meso. They can easily put on muscle. Fat is not difficult for them. If they kind of sort of do a good diet and work out well, they're shredded. Most trainers are endomorphs or ectomorphs who are naturally skinny people. They start lifting weights. They look fit because they just went from skinny to fit. That's not too difficult. But going from fat to fit is different. That's endomorph. And a portion of that would require you to just, in some ways, replace your carbs, not all of them, but some of your daily carbs with protein. If you do that, you'll actually find that you feel much better. You can still have carbs. You can still have your oatmeal. You can still have it. Maybe not every day. But you can, and then reach your goals. So that's the definition. Mesomorph specifically, I'm a mesomorph. So when I go to the gym,
You go, girl.
when I go to the gym, my issue is while easily put on muscle, I can easily put on fat as well. So it's kind of 50-50 with me. So I'm the one who has to, after I work out, I must do cardio. If you're endo, you can just lift weights and leave. You don't necessarily have to. If you're ecto, you should lift a lot of weight.
I'm going to look up endo.
Yeah, ecto. What is the ecto again?
Ectomorphs, they're tall, skinny people. Have you ever seen them? They're not all tall.
I look in the mirror.
They're very
Say.
Oh yeah, very slender, very skinny. They don't get
when I was
they
younger.
don't really get hungry. They can go all day and
I do have
eat their first meal at like 3:00. Mesos, if you don't feed us, we're a little bit more intentional with our eating. Endos, some of them they prefer to either, like you said, either eat later or eat in the morning. Either both, but most people are a combination of two. So you just have to find okay. But one thing I love about the human body is there's never, if you listen to nutritionists or some dietitians, I don't like it because they're only telling you what worked for them. And I don't like that because for all human bodies, there's no drastic change that needs to happen unless, you really just eat McDonald's every day. Unless it's just like really bad. But most of us can achieve a really healthy state by fixing a few things. Some of us just need sleep. Some of us just need to stay away from some people and de-stress. There's different combinations of here, but the body's so holistic. Everything works together. Everything. Your lifestyle, who you're around. Do you have a support system? Do you have love? What you eat?
It makes a difference.
Your movement.
I love that.
Everything. So it's kind of. It's almost like I'm like, some days I'm like, how do I have time? At some point I have to get time to pour into other people's lives and have friends because I'm so focused on my routine.
That's the body
So
shape.
just read about that. Type in endomorph and woman and just read some recommendations that they have to check to make sure you're endomorph. They'll kind of give like a list of symptoms. Do you do this? Do you do that? Do you like to work out like that? Then you'll say, oh, that's me. Okay, then I'm endomorph. Just so that
That's what this is, a questionnaire.
Yeah.
I think I'm mesmo. I look like that anyway.
Yeah. If you're mostly endo, lift weights, your body will respond by that. I have to do cardio.
That's
or I'll just look skinny fat.
podcast. We're going to have her help us.
I did not like
questions. Yeah. Well, this has really been, just so enlightening. Right?
Yeah.
Even the after party.
We were able to tap into your
love
health and
it.
wellness journey.
Yeah.
Because that really is something I think that a lot of us need to know.
Yes.
We're at the point in our lives where we want to live our best life, right?
For sure.
And so it's like, what are we doing? What's your story? So thank you so much for sharing
Yes.
your story.
Yes.
And I think a lot of us,
And answering so many questions. You've really helped out elevators. Because there's so many of us out here who have these same questions.
We're going to take this, and I just believe you've helped a lot of people.
Yes.
today, right?
She did.
Yeah.
Thank
We can
And I'm a
say-
lot of people.
I'm a lot of people. I'm a lot of people. Once again, look, Dr. Abigail.
Look, we speaking it into existence already.
We love you. We appreciate you. That's it, elevator.
We're done.